Hello dears, welcome to English classes at Radhika Ramesh. Today we are to study a portion that is Airstream mechanism and organs of speech, which is taken from the 5th semester BA English Language and Literature textbook, that is Language and Linguistics. Have you ever thought about voice and speech? How voice is produced? How speech is happened? Okay, so it's only through the airstream mechanism, that is the air that we are inhaling and exhaling are used to make voices. So, airstream is the flow of air used in speech production. The most of the sounds are produced with the exhaling airstream, that is the air which is coming out of the lungs. This air or airstream is going through the windpipe or trachea. Then it is passing through larynx, that is the voice box. Larynx is a part of vocal cords. Then while it is going through the larynx, then voice is produced and it is further moving through or moving out through our mouth or nose, which determines whether the sound is oral or nasal. We know that some of our sounds are nasal, which is produced by our nose. By closing our nose, we cannot pronounce those sounds properly. For example, m, n, in English, then na, nya, na, na, ma in Malayalam are nasal sounds. The airstream is going out or escaping from the lungs through the nose while producing these sounds. All the other sounds are oral sounds. The larynx has two folds, which is also known as vocal cords. The way air removes decides if sounds are voiced or voiceless. So you can detect the sound whether it is voiced or voiceless by touching your Adam's apple at your neck. If the vibration, while producing a sound, if the vibration feels, it means that that particular sound is voiced. If there is no vibration, it means that that sound is voiceless. Let's study the voiced and voiceless sounds in detail. If vocal cords are apart, so the vocal cords are determining whether the sound is voiced or voiceless. Vocal cords are a lip-like structure which is situated in the Adam's apple. Okay, so if the vocal cords are widely apart, the sound is voiceless. There is no vibration at all. If the vocal cords are vibrating or if they are loosely held together, the sound is voiced, so we can feel the vibration at our Adam's apple. For example, the sound P is voiceless. If you are producing the sound P by touching your Adam's apple, you cannot feel any kind of vibration. So, P is voiceless, but B, while producing the sound B, if you are touching at your Adam's apple, you can feel the vibration. So, B is voiced. We know that the pitch, that means the pitch of voice, depends on the vibration speed. The rate at which the vocal cords are vibrating determines the pitch of the voice. We know that men, their voice is very deep because their vocal cords are changing at the time of their puberty. At the time of their puberty means at the age of 16 or 17, their voice is also changing. Uh, then we can identify the Adam's apple very clearly in men than women. It determines their voice. Types of airstream mechanism. We know that there are three main types of airstream mechanisms. The first one is pulmonic airstream mechanism. The second one is glottalic airstream mechanism. And the third one is velaric airstream mechanism. How it is categorized? Then it is purely categorized on the basis of Which organ starts the airflow? From which organ the air is flowing? Pulmonic is most common in all languages. That is, most of the sounds are produced with the pulmonic airstream mechanism. Okay, then glottalic, that is glottis. Glottis is the most important part of this glottalic version or glottalic airstream mechanism. And in velaric airstream mechanism, velum or soft palate is the most important part. And some of the African, Caucasian and such native languages are mostly glottalic and velaric in nature. Let's go deeper into pulmonic airstream mechanism. That means the airstream comes from the lungs, diaphragm. Do you know what is meant by diaphragm? Diaphragm is the upper part of our stomach. Then and chest muscles. These are the origin of this pulmonic airstream mechanism. Lungs is the origin of pulmonic airstream mechanism, and it is aggressive pulmonic airstream means air pushed out of lungs. Okay, which is always used in speech. That is, we always, almost all the speech sounds are aggressive, pulmonic aggressive airstream mechanism. Ingressive airstream is also there. What is meant by ingressive? Ingressive means the air pulled into lungs. Okay, while we are breathing, that is the breathed in air is known as ingressive airstream. Diaphragm controls breathing for speech. We know that stomach has a lot of role while we are speaking. This is the default system of spoken languages. That is, almost all spoken languages are following this pulmonic airstream mechanism for speech sounds. The next is glottalic airstream mechanism. That is, here the air is passing through glottis. The glottis means the space between vocal cords. The narrow opening between the vocal cords is known as glottis. Always it is closed, but sometimes it is opened during the production of glottalic sounds. And larynx moves up down to move air. Then the ejected sound will be air pushed out through this glottis, that is, and it will be implosive, and the air sucked in the glottis, and when the glottis is suddenly opening, the air is pushed out through the mouth. Then a kind of plosion is also happening while the production of glottalic airstream mechanism or glottalic sounds. We know that some of the African, Caucasian and Native American languages are glottalic in nature. The next one is velaric airstream mechanism. Here velum is the most important part while producing the sound. Here back of the tongue contacts with velum or soft palate during the production of this sound, and air is trapped into the mouth cavity. Mouth cavity means the space between the soft palate or lips and the back of the tongue or back of the mouth. Then when the air is released, it makes a click sound. Okay, during the production of velaric airstream mechanism or velar sounds, a click sound can be pronounced. Then found in languages like Zulu and Nama. That is most these languages are unknown to us anyway. These languages are some velar sounds. Velaric airstream is always ingressive. Ingressive means that is the sound which is produced while we are inhaling rather than exhaling. We have already said that most of the pulmonic airstream, most of the pulmonic sounds are pulmonic aggressive airstream sounds. But here, what is happening in velaric airstream is that the sound has become ingressive. While we are inhaling, the sounds are produced. Let's go through some of the organs which are very useful in producing sounds. The speech organs, they are grouped into three systems. The first one is respiratory system. The second one is phonatory system. And the third one is articulatory system. So these are the three categories of speech organs. They work together to form sounds. Each part has special role. That is, we cannot exclude any part or any organ from the production of speech sounds. Without these organs, without this respiratory system, phonatory system, or articulatory system, we cannot make voice or speech. It's not at all possible. The first category is respiratory system. As the name suggests, this includes the organs which are using for respiration. Respiration means that is inhaling and exhaling is very important in the respiratory system. The organs includes lungs, diaphragm, and trachea. Trachea is also known as windpipe. Lungs supply the air needed for speech. We know that most of our speech sounds are pulmonic, aggressive airstream. Uh, uh, that is the air which is pushed out of our lungs is used to produce sounds. Diaphragm, the upper part of the stomach, or the muscle at the upper part of the stomach, is known as diaphragm, and it is also very important while producing speech. And it controls its breath also. Then air goes upward through trachea or the windpipe to larynx. Larynx. The next system is there, that is the phonatory system. Then it basis of syllables and rhythm in speech. That is, all these characteristics of speech are given by the respiratory system. The next system is the phonatory system, which is made up of the larynx and vocal cords. So the sound is produced by the vocal cords and larynx. Larynx is a box-like structure in the throat, like Adam's apple. We already mentioned that Adam's apple is there at the end of trachea or the windpipe. So the air which is pushed out of our lungs is moving through this larynx. Then vocal cords. Vocal cords are open for breathing. Okay, vocal cords are very essential for making sounds. Okay, that is, this phonatory system is changing our airstream, that is aggressive airstream, to sound. And it is open for breathing and closed for swallowing food or water. Okay, when it is loosely held together, it is producing voiced sounds. When it is wide open, like while breathing, it is producing voiceless sounds, as we have mentioned earlier. Then we know that the frequency of the vibration of the vocal cords determine the pitch of our sound. The next one is the articulatory system, and we know the organs which are included in this articulatory system because they are visible to us. It includes nose, teeth, tongue, roof of the mouth, lips, etc. We know that these organs are very important in producing sounds or in speech also. It shapes the airflow into speech sounds. We know that now the airstream, that is from the respiratory system, the air has come to the phonatory system. So voice is there. Then this articulatory system is determining which sound should be produced. Okay, so articulatory system is also very important in the speech production. Soft palate or velum can open or close nasal passage. Okay, soft palate is very important, which determines whether the sound should be nasal or oral. Okay, then tongue has 4 parts: tip, blade, front, and back. Lips change shapes. We know that while we are producing the sounds, our lips will be rounded, spread, or closed. So lips are also very important while producing sound. Teeth is also very important. The nose determines whether the sound is nasal or oral. The soft palate and uvula. We know that the roof of the mouth is very important in speech production. The roof of the mouth is the part which comes against the tongue when the speech organs are at rest. Okay, when we are closing our mouth, the part which is come against the mouth is known as the roof of the mouth. Which are the parts included in the roof of the mouth? That is alveolar ridge, hard palate, and soft palate. You can feel these spaces of these parts with your tongue. Okay. Then soft palate is the last area. It's something soft. You can feel it with your tongue. It can block or open nasal passage. Okay, if it is raised, it closes the nasal passage, then the sounds will be oral. When it is lower, these sounds will pass, sorry, this airstream will pass through nose, then the sounds will be naturally nasal. Then uvula is the hanging part at the end of velum. Uvula. While we are opening your mouth and looking into a mirror, you can see uvula. It is at the last, at the end of the roof of the mouth. There is a small tongue-like structure is hanging from the roof of the mouth. It is known as uvula. Then movement controls nasal versus oral sounds. That is, uvula is very important for determining whether the sound is nasal or oral. So we cannot, we always feel that why this part is there in our mouth. This part is also very important for the speech production or sound production. M, N, Ng. They are nasal sounds in English. The next and most important articulatory organ is the tongue. The tongue is the most flexible articulator. Like we can move the tongue in different ways. Parts of the tongue are tip, blade, front, and back. Moves to touch different parts of the mouth and produces different sounds. It helps make many speech sounds. Tongue is very important. And example, t, during the production of t, the tip of the tongue is touching the alveolar ridge. Like this, tongue is touching at different parts of our mouth and producing different sounds. So tongue is very important during the speech production. Then comes the lips. Lips are also very important. It's not meant for smearing lipstick. Lips are very important speech organs. It's an articulatory speech organ. Lips can open, close, or rounded. These are the positions of our lips while producing speech sounds. While producing the sound f, we know that the lower lip will touch the upper set of teeth. So without this lower lip, we cannot produce the sound f. So that is the lower lips. Lips are very important. But the lips together make sounds like p, b, m. Okay, practice whether you can produce these sounds p, b, m without using lips. Is it possible? No. The shape of lips affect vowel sounds. Okay, while producing a, u, that is the position of our lip is entirely different from each other while we are producing these vowel sounds. While producing the sound oo, what happens? That is, our lips will be round in shape. Let's spread lips, front vowels, round lips, back vowels. Okay, that is, we will study what is meant by front and back vowels in detail in the coming classes. In these articulatory organs, some organs are active articulators and some are passive articulators. Let's see which are the active articulators in the human speech system. Active articulators are movable articulators like tongue, lips, and soft palate. Passive articulators cannot be moved. They are fixed like teeth, alveolar ridge, and hard palate. Speech sounds happen when active articulators move towards passive ones. These active articulators are moving towards the passive articulators, then speech is or the voice is produced. T, that is the, for example, T, the sound to, T is produced by the tongue, or the tip of the tongue is raising towards the alveolar ridge. Okay, here tip of the tongue or tongue is active articulator, then alveolar ridge is the passive articulator. So with the both or with a collective effort of both these articulators or with these organs, speech sounds are produced. Cooperation of both types makes speech possible. Okay. Hope you have understood which are the speech organs which helps you to speak out and how the speech or the phenomena of speaking is happening in human beings. Okay, thank you for listening. Prepare your notes and study well. Okay, thank you. Thank you once again.